Hi guys, here we go. It's Crazy Hat Day, Chapter 6. Sorry, my doggies are going to bark for you. Alright, Wednesday was Crazy Hat Day. Usually, we're not allowed to wear hats at school. We were at recess one day, and I asked everybody why. Hats might spread germs, Andrea said. Maybe the teachers are afraid we would hide stuff in our hats, said Ryan. Like what? Said Michael. Like a mouse, said Neil. Who's going to hide a mouse in their hat? I asked. A few years ago, Neil said, I heard about some kid who hid a mouse in his hat and brought it to school. So just because some weird kid hid a mouse in his hat, that means nobody can ever wear a hat in school? I asked. That doesn't make sense. What if the kid hid a mouse in his pants? Would they say we can't wear pants to school? Would we have to come to school in our underwear? Nobody hides mice in their pants, Arlo, said Andrea. Well, nobody hides them in their hat either, I told her. Anyway, for Crazy Hat Day, I wore a hat with a propeller on top. Michael wore a football helmet. Ryan wore a pirate hat. Neil, the nude kid, wore an army helmet with leaves attached to it. Andrea wore a hat with pieces of fruit piled on top of it. Emily wore a stuffed animal on her head. Everybody had a crazy hat. The only bad thing was that it was raining outside. That meant we had to have indoor recess in our classroom. Bummer in the summer. Indoor recess is no fun at all because we don't get to run around. Mr. Granite told us that Mr. Klutz was going to come and keep an eye on us while he went to the teacher's lounge to eat lunch. He said we should be on our best behavior while he was gone. So as soon as he left the room, Ryan and I got up and shook our butts at the class. Most of the kids laughed. My friend Billy, who lives around the corner, told me the teacher's lounge is a secret, magical world where the teachers play pin the tail on the donkey and swim in hot tubs and watch big screen TVs. But when I went in there once, the teachers were just sitting around and eating. I think maybe they heard I was coming, so they quick got rid of the hot tubs and the TV so that I wouldn't know they were having so much fun. What do you think about that? What do you think the teacher's lounge is really like? While we were waiting for Mr. Klutz to show up, guess who came into our classroom? It was Miss Lizzie. She was holding an accordion and wearing one of those green Robin Hood hats with a feather sticking out on top. "Hi, boys and girls," she said. "Hi, Miss Lizzie. Did you wear the crazy hat today?" asked Emily. "No," she said. "I always wear this hat on Wednesday." "What are you going to teach us today for recess enrichment?" asked Michael. "Today I'm going to teach you how to yodel," Miss Lizzie said. "Yodel?" I asked. "What's that?" Do you know what yodeling is? Yodeling is a kind of singing, said little Miss Know-Everything. Andrea keeps a dictionary in her desk so she can look up words and show everybody how smart she is. "That's right, Andrea," said Miss Lizzie. "Yodeling was developed in Switzerland as a way for people to communicate on the mountain peaks. It sounds like this: yodel-hee-ho. I never heard anybody sing that before. It was the weirdest kind of singing in the history of the world. I can even yodel with my mouth closed," said Miss Lizzie. Then she started yodeling with her mouth closed. Miss Lizzie, is it really important for us to learn how to yodel?" asked Andrea. "Sure," said Miss Lizzie. "What if you were on a reality TV show and you had to yodel to win $1 million, but you didn't know how? And because you didn't know how to yodel, you didn't win $1 million. That would be a shame. That's why it's so important for kids to learn how to yodel." Miss Lizzie threw back her head and started in yodeling. It sounded like yodel-ee-oo, yodel-ee. Oh my goodness, and it just keeps going, guys. Look at that. Have you ever really heard somebody yodel? Okay, guys, here's somebody yodeling. Ready for it? So what do you think? I don't think I want to try to yodel for you. It could be pretty funny. Yodeling is weird. Miss Lizzie sounds like my dad when he gargles in the morning. We were all giggling and poking each other with our elbows so we wouldn't laugh, while Miss Lizzie was in the middle of her yodeling. You'll never believe who walked into the door. Nobody. Because if you walk into the door, it would hurt. Oh, here he goes again, guys. But you'll never believe who walked into the doorway. It was Mr. Klutz, Miss Lizzie looked at Mr. Klutz and stopped in the middle of her yodeling. Mr. Klutz looked at Mrs. Lizzie. I looked at Michael. Michael looked at Ryan. Andrea looked at Emily. Everybody was looking at each other. We were all afraid that Mr. Klutz would be mad. It was so quiet in the class, you could hear a pin drop. So there's another one of those stars, guys. Down here it tells us what it means. Actually, you can hear a pin drop. Somebody dropped a pin one time, and I heard it. He's so silly, isn't he? Was somebody yodeling in here? Asked Mr. Klutz. Yes, said Ryan. Miss Lizzie is teaching us how to yodel so we can win $1 million on a reality TV show. I love yodeling, said Mr. Klutz. In my younger days, I spent a year in the Swiss Alps. I yodeled all the time. You yodeled all the time for a year? I asked. Didn't you get tired? Not at all, he said. I love to yodel. And then he started to yodel. Yodel-a-hee-oh. He just keeps going. There it goes, guys. Oh my goodness. Mr. Klutz started dancing around, clapping his hands and slapping his knees while he yodeled. We all got up and started dancing around, yodeling, clapping our hands, slapping our knees. Then Miss Lizzie joined in, yodeling, dancing, clapping, and slapping her knee. Then she started hitting Mr. Klutz's head like it was a bongo drum while she yodeled. It was a real Kodak moment. Do you know what that means, guys? A Kodak moment? In the old days, that was what a camera was, so they would say that it was a Kodak moment, meaning it was like so crazy you needed a picture of it. Does stuff like this happen at your school? What do you think? Does that happen at our school? I don't know.